Hello, hello, and welcome to Dear Dana on this Saturday. Yes, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about spiritual vampires. Hello, not paid by anyone, Miriam. Hello, paranormal witch. Yes, welcome to Dear Dana, everyone. I'm so happy to have you here. We have a lot to talk about. Hello, Vintage Optimism. I have missed you so much. I sent you an email. I don't know if you saw it. I have worried about you, said prayers about you, asked people about you. So happy to have you back. Whew, it's been a long week, and we're going to get into it, hoping more people will roll in. There are some things to talk about. But before we get started, let's drop that intro. Yes, I am colorful today. I dropped the temperature in here and wore my colorful shirt. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. I'm representing, and there is a reason for that too. And I'll tell you about it in just a minute. Again, welcome to Dear Dana. Please smash that like button. Smash like and subscribe. And here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Before we get started, and it gets a little lighter, heavy, lighter. And I will talk about it more as people drop in. I'm wearing the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for many reasons. For one of the reasons, and I'll probably talk about it more as we get into the show, I have been very internally upset about what's going on in our world. We are in spiritual warfare. People might not call it that, but it's the truth. And what particularly is there's a lot going on in our world, let's be honest. What is particularly going on in Afghanistan has the core of me very upset. Very upset. I watched a video the other day of babies literally being passed over a wall to soldiers by their onesies. Passed from person to person by their onesies. To soldiers over a wall in hopes that they would be safe in the midst of what's going on over there because of the attack by the Taliban. This should not be happening. Our president is on vacation. I am on the verge of tears on and off. Seriously. Look, we have a world of different people, different languages, different skin colors. We all have differences. Whatever you call your creator, our creator did not create us to be born into all of this chaos. We were all born babies. Think of it like this. Every one of us came into the world babies. Even when you see someone you don't like, if you visualize them born into the world a baby, if you put the face of a baby on someone you don't like, it's hard to be that disgruntled. We think we can't do anything. I'm asking everyone that comes into this room, we're in no hate zone here. No hate, no judge. Light and love. You can call me what you want. People can come in here and say, oh, she's weird, she's flake. That's okay. I am not everybody's taste of the week. I'm not your flavor of the week. That's okay. There's somebody in YouTube land that is your flavor. That's cool. But those that come in here are looking for healing of some form. They're looking for peace and love and calm and respite in everything that we have been going through. Everybody has gone through hell in one form or another in their lifetime. Everybody in here. Everybody that passes through. There is not one person that you have encountered in your life that has not experienced some form of pain. Not one person. And if they've already done all the work they need to do on themselves, you wouldn't be seeing them walk on this earth. They'd already be donezo. So for those that think you can't do anything in the midst of all the spiritual warfare, you're wrong. So I'm asking all of my loving family, community in here, if it is only a prayer, if it is only visualizing love and light and encompassing these children, these women, these babies, these families, visualizing wrapping them in love and light and healing and safety, if that's all you feel you can do that. Please do that. Because as I'm going to show you in a little bit, when we have done healing work in here, hello, Adam Mesh Fitness and Gaming. It works. It works. Every single one of you that comes in here, you have the capability, whether it's visualizing healing or wrapping them in light or sending some clothes you don't need or doing a food drive or prayer, you have the capability or the gift or something to visualize or send some kind of energy, prayer, something to these families, these children, these babies, these women, to them that are suffering in Afghanistan. You have the power. Marcy came in here with a toothache. We were able to take the pain away. Okay? Sheila came in with pain from back down the back of her head, shoulder, spine, that she had been suffering with forever. And now she's telling us she's not suffering with pain. Okay? Let me show you something. Remember the lady that I told you that was suffering with such significant rash that was painful and burning, that it was so severely affecting her life? Severely affecting her life. And we were trying to do healing for a distance and she couldn't be present, so she replayed it knowing the intention was for her. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Please pay attention as I share. She sent me some of the pictures. Remember, I couldn't show you both last week. Please pay attention. Let me see if I can share properly. Tell me if you cannot see. Dun, 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 dun. Well, there's really no audio, so we'll do the Chrome tab. Where is my Gmail? There it is. Okay, I'm going to share now. See if we can see on StreamYard. Okay, everybody pay attention, please. Where is it? Okay, see, this is the beginning of the bad rash. Can everybody see? Let me blow it up. This is the beginning of the bad rash. Oh, I've got to go back to it. Hold on. I've got to exit full screen to do it. Bad rash. Okay, let me blow it back up so you can see it. Look how bad it is on her neck and chest. Can you see it? That's her tummy. Can everybody see? Okay, I'm going to exit full screen. This is, okay, let me blow this up. I'm going to exit full screen. This is after. Those are just spots. That's not the rash. Okay, look at this. That's after. And that's not doing it live. Can you see that? That's after, people. After. Okay, that's the end. We are capable. We are capable. So I'm pleading with you, whatever you feel you can do in your power, please help. When I ask you to do things like try grounding for a month, I'm not just pulling it out of my booty. I don't have the answers for everything. And trust and believe, when I say, let's try to do healing on it, I'll try to send you healing. I don't know if it will work, but it can't hurt. Let's try. Things can happen. When I say, let's try grounding, trust and believe, I have done research after research after research. Yes, I have 2 degrees, but I don't have all the degrees in the world. I do have a certificate in alternative medicine. Having a child like Noah forced me to study and study and study and study, and even study weird things. Inside of us, our Creator gave us these uncanny abilities that most people don't even try to tap into. We are literally all connected. Literally. So please, if it is a prayer, if it's visualizing protective energy around the Afghanistan babies, children, women, families, do whatever you can do. If it is trying to do a fundraiser, come up with clothes, whatever you find in your community, please, please. It is literally breaking my heart. Sorry. I cannot believe our world is maybe I can, in the state it currently is in. At this point, it is our we have the power to do something, to whatever degree it is. We need to forget all of the nonsense around us that doesn't mean anything. when I think about those babies and those little kids, I just can't. Okay, Miriam. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, we are all human beings, right? Makes you think, where are the babies going to go? We are in spiritual warfare, and our president's on vacation. Oh, sorry, that made me jump. Hey
Hey,
there again.
oh my God, I am fighting tears, but my tears have dried up because I just want to start this saying, doesn't matter who the president is. It from Bush to Obama to Trump and now Biden.
Oh no, I mean,
The I
yeah,
know the foreign policy never ever changes. Never. It's untouched. And I am saying this coming from someone who lived in the Middle East for 17 years straight. And we were always regarded as sub citizens of the world. And what's happening now in Afghanistan is Iraq 2.0, is Palestine into infinity and beyond. Like, um, I think what people don't know is that the way George Floyd died is a common tactic of the Israeli army towards Palestinians. And that same day, a child, 13 years of age, died the same way. But yet, the world became desensitized to all the atrocities that happen in the Middle East and in Iraq and in Afghanistan. So I wish they didn't do the same thing that they did in Iraq, but here they are. They did it. And this is not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. I'm trying not to watch the news because this hits home. This hits home. I saw poverty. I know how life is in that side of the world. I lived it. And it's just nothing that now it's going to be in the news for a while, and then the next big thing happens and it's going to be in the back of everybody's minds. I don't think anybody will do anything. I mean, the politicians. I don't think there is resolve, or there is no intent to bring out resolve, because if there was, I think it's about time that they didn't leave the way they did, because now Afghanistan went back like 20 years ago. So here we are, the United States, we spent almost $3 trillion in that war. 3 trillion. Can you imagine those 3 trillion? How many student loans, how many minimum wage would have risen? Like, just, but they don't want to do it. It's not, it will never change, unfortunately. And I say that because there is no amount of prayers like what's happening now in Lebanon. It's like the bank system, the government did a Ponzi scheme on its citizens. They used to give these high interest rates so that people keep investing. So people thought they were just spending the interest rate that they get in their investment, but long and behold, now there is no more money, and people with millions of dollars in or $1,000 in the bank, they have the same access. It's like they can't cash more than $300 a month, and by the time that $300 comes to their hands because of the conversion of the lira, which is very undervalued, it's $50, and the inflation is through the roof. Now in Lebanon, like I'm not taking away from Afghanistan, but I'm just saying where my mom is living now, my family is there. They don't have electricity. They barely have 1 hour electricity a day. They don't have potable water. People rely on their wells. They don't have government. It's a no man's land. People can kill and walk in the street. So basically, they're living because there's not enough death for all these people. So now it's not like I am trying not to see the images, what's happening in Afghanistan, but that was the writing in the wall. I always knew that was going to happen because that's what they did in Iraq. And Syria, can we talk about Syria? Like how many places in the world there are thousands of people being killed and nobody's paying attention? No one. So I hope a miracle happens because that's the only way this can be solved, Dana, unfortunately.
But
And
I'm seeing more going. It goes, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. It goes far deeper. It literally is a spiritual warfare. Like I was teaching in China. I've been doing it for a few years. Okay. All of a sudden, there has been a rule set. We can no longer teach the Chinese students. We're being blocked out now. Things are happening in every country.
yeah.
There is a spiritual warfare going on. It goes far, far deeper.
I think it's more a cultural warfare because it doesn't they wrap it in it's wrapped in a spirituality, their warfare, but at the bottom is a cultural thing. They don't want their citizens to see or have a window to what life is outside where they are. And because even like the conflicts in the Middle East, they were all like wrapped or labeled as religious, and they're not.
No, I understand what you're saying, and they don't want to see what's going on out there. But me talking to you, as this channel goes to spiritual places, not talking about what their government wants them to see, me talking to you, knowing that deeper spiritual things can happen, like I was showing you about, look at what happened with the healing, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go far deeper. Think about every country in the entire world. There are deeper spiritual things shifting in the whole world. Underlying things shifting. And I'm calling it a spiritual warfare. All of these energies shifting.
Yeah.
People can call it, it's just about economics. It's just about money. It's just about hate. It's just about power. It's just about this, that, the other.
That is at the core of it, though, because they're all very rich countries, and strategically speaking, it's good to have impact there or to make that country be, weak. I get where you're coming from because you come from like the spirit that you have and the ability that you have. I'm nowhere near that. So just bear with my spiritual ignorance, if I can say. But for me, it's just like they don't care about the people. They just don't
No.
care. What they care is about, like, I never thought I would say that, but I remember when I used to go to Syria. just to buy goods, because over there everything was so cheaper and people seemed so content. It was, but now the whole Syria is in shambles because someone is grabbing to power. But let me tell you something. I hate that man that's in power in Syria. I cannot stand him. But I don't see him leaving being the solution, but the further dissolution of that country and their people and their livelihoods, just like what happened in Iraq. Iraq had the dictator. Once the dictator went, there's the Arab Spring, and then worse comes into power. A greedier comes to power, just like what's happening in Lebanon now. It's like they still in your face and they are unapologetic. Funny that the title of your video is narcissism, but that's narcissism. Like,
Yeah,
the
no,
government at the
I
level,
agree.
that's narcissism, and at its worst, and it's playing out right there. For you to tell me that that cannot stop just with this from Biden and France and UK, uh, but why aren't they?
Well, I mean, think it too. China has one ruler, and like my mom will say, well, why don't the people take him over? Because my experience is the families are nice and kind,
Yes.
but they have a ruler or a guy that rules the country and makes all the rules based on their religious beliefs. And most of the families don't like the rules and are afraid of the person that runs a country.
It's very indoctrinated. It's in
Right.
their blood right now. So it's just as much as it takes for someone to get out of an abusive relationship.
Bingo.
It takes like, put that on steroids.
It's fear based. It's fear based.
It's indoctrinated in their system. Oh no, just just like they teach, like the Asians teach their kids here. If someone tells you something in school, just put your head down and keep walking. Don't confront. That same non-confrontational
Because
attitude,
something might happen to you.
out of fear, yes, and they feel like better be afraid and safe than brave and
And gone.
and gone. So that is the problem. That is the problem everywhere. And even here, I see those. I'm a little bit becoming like that, not to voice my opinion as much as I used to, because to tell you the truth, yeah, I'm scared of him. Not job come after me because he doesn't agree with me. We experience this in YouTube. Like people who don't know you, they don't show their faces, and they attack you.
Yeah.
So as if like you stole their only piece of bread that they had to feed their whole family. It's what is happening here. It's like the world has become really flat with all the technology. So it's becoming harder and harder on governments to block the communication. So maybe that's why in China now they don't want American teachers to teach their children anymore.
And
They
it's
would
heart wrenching.
person come learn here, then go back and teach them English over there. And those who know English teach someone else. I think they are trying just to keep them in a box as long as they can. And let's face it, China is a superpower because of that.
You know how many bonds you make with the kids? I mean, heart bonds.
Yeah.
It's just heart wrenching. But anyway, I thank you for coming up and getting me more centered, because I was just like,
I know. I saw you that I was gonna start crying, but then I'm like so angry. Like this angers me, and it's just like how many more tears I'm gonna shed. Like in Lebanon they built the building today, then it's bombed. Like you don't know when. So there's a fake a sense of safety, and now even that is gone. And COVID is ravishing the world still, and it's just so dark around us. And then you see this happening, and everybody knows,
but
everybody's seeing it.
But I just want to let people know we do have the ability. I know I sound wacko, to encourage and grow the, resonate higher and grow the light we have. At, at some point, all of you will connect with that. It will make sense to you and you will feel it. You will feel it in your body. You will feel it around you. It sounds crazy, but you will.
I will need your help with my daughter. She's having these episodes of rashes that they're not as bad as the one that you showed. They don't become red, but like it's very itchy, and then she gets those bumps.
It sounds like it's stress induced. Has she had a lot of stress lately?
She's always stressed out.
It just sounds. Let me talk to her sometime soon and see if I can kind of tap into the component of what's triggered it.
Yeah.
And see if we can work on it. Okay?
I'll be forever grateful.
Okay.
Because I'm
but let's see if we can switch gears to and you guys in here know that if you're ever suffering from a pain, a rash, or something like that, and you want to come up and we tap into it, that I'm here for you. I can't promise anything, but I am here for you. I'm happy to see Anita Wakochi, Lori Watson, Make It Make Sense, JC Bear, Adam Harris. I would like to know how your fiance is. Paranormal Vintage, Miriam, of course, and any new person that's here. And I'm sorry that I got on my soapbox and got a little emotional, but it just bothers me so much.
I get it.
But moving on to spiritual vampires, does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say that? It's like an energy vampire.
It's like they suck the air out of the room.
Yes. Or like when you're around them, you feel totally exhausted, like they have just drained your ever-loving energy. Has anybody been around somebody, married somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, family member, or coworker? Have you experienced a spiritual vampire or energy vampire? I have. Yes.
We've been watching one on TV lately.
Ramona is totally one, for sure, 100%, with complete narcissistic tendencies. Most of the time, spiritual vampires do have narcissistic tendencies, and Ramona is more out in your face. Sometimes they are covert. The covert ones, which is like more under the table, get on my last ever-loving nerve.
Yeah.
Because they will love bomb you to death. They will love bomb you, and then they will try to think single white female. That is a covert narcissist and energy vampire.
Listen, after watching like the Real Housewives of New York, I've been feeling exhausted. It's like it's exhausting to feel how she sits down, how she deflects, how she doesn't want people to talk about the real issue. She just cannot shut up.
And remember what I told you about it literally can affect you through the television?
Oh yeah, 100,000%. Oh my God. I'm like, and no wonder it's becoming like that. Like the ratings are down because even diehard fans like I am, like from this, the first days of this, it's becoming like hard to watch, cringy. It's really cringy. And I feel like people like Ramona feel cringy because they see how ugly they are, but then they look away because they think if they look away, they won't be like that, but they are. And then there are the others who are not like Ramona, who are like, we just want to put some like duct tape in her mouth and make her sit and listen. Maybe something is gonna crack in that head of hers. Like, oh my God.
And when she's going to this, particular thing. I forgot what it was called. It was a Jewish thing. What was it called?
The Black Shabbat.
The Black Shabbat. And she's complaining about food and her being hungry.
Wow. That's the antithesis of it.
I mean, I couldn't get over that. Hello, creatorist. So nice. I was like, how rude can you be? How completely rude can you be?
That is not right, true.
I mean, it's so ceremonial. And she's sort of like, everything's got to be so focused on her that she can't take it when somebody else is running the show.
Yeah. But you know something? That episode, as much as I was upset by Ramona, I was upset by Ebony. Because Ebony showed more grace and understanding towards the one that is like anti everything she stands for. And she ostracized the one of color from going there. If that like excuse that she had not to invite Borshan was true, which I doubt it was, the moment she knew that Leah couldn't go because she was exposed to COVID, this is the moment you bring your sister.
Yeah.
And it's called Black Shabbat. And the only black added friend of the show is not there. Like, come on. I was so upset by that. And I was like, you know what? I was kind of happy. I said, that's karma. That's your karma for not bringing Borshan. This is what you brought to yourself. Literally. Yeah.
And then she, here goes Sonia going off on Ramona. And it was embarrassing on one hand, but I loved it on the other hand. I have to be honest.
Oh, me too.
Because she was just letting her have it. But Ramona's the type that if it's not about attention-seeking behavior because something's not good enough, there's not enough food, somebody's not doing something right, I'm waiting on her, then it's because of her bad childhood. She's a victim.
Yeah, she victimizes herself. It's always about herself. Poor her. But she's rich. She wants you to know that she's rich, but poor her.
Yeah. And then when she should be owning it, then it's everybody else is doing it, not her.
Yeah, I feel like, Bravo has created some monsters along the year.
She's the number one monster that I would love to see go.
She was always, when it comes down to it, isn't it astonishing that we've been watching them for so long and we know so little about them?
Right. Well, yeah, right.
I didn't know about the stories that recently, finally, Sonia is talking about. I didn't know about her brother, about Ramona's brother. Like, it was always the fake, the social life, this and that. And, there was never substance in there. And all of a sudden now we have substance coming to the show, which is Ebony. But she disappointed me. I am so disappointed with her because I feel like she should have brought Borshan there. Period. End of story. And it's even if Borshan made her upset or didn't agree with her all the way, but when she compares how much Ramona disagrees with her, there is no comparison. So 1,000 times Borshan over Ramona. For her to exclude her, that was mean behavior. It was for me, it came off. She wants to be the only spokesperson for the Black community or the representation. She wants to be the only one representing. And, there are different shades of Black, not only in skin color, but also in their views.
But, unfortunately, I think that maybe she's just trying to assure she snacks that apple for the next season.
And she did already. She doesn't need to force it. She really did. You talk about Borshan or Ebony?
Ebony.
No, Ebony. Oh my God, she is a gold apple. But that's my thing. She is gorgeous. She's young, like the longevity that she can have in this show. And she's so, can we say she's smart enough? We
Yeah.
can't mention that enough. So that's my thing. I felt like at her not including Bershan was really wanting to be the only one. She's the first one and only one. She doesn't want anybody to come over, especially when Bershan was more understanding of the audience, which, you know what, she was. She was
Yeah.
more understanding of the audience. Even the way she, her friendship with Ramona, I still, till this day, I cannot understand. But every time I hear Bershan given an interview, I understand.
Good
So
point.
freaking lovable. Oh my God, I want to hug that woman all the time. She's, and you know, whenever she does affirmations in the morning, I started following her recently, and she really makes me smile. And I find myself repeating with her. She's so contagious.
And I
And
like her relationship with Sonia.
I love it. I love her relationship with everybody. With
I mean,
every,
she was watching Sonia's dog eat the food on the platter, and they just kept talking.
yeah. No, Bershan and her, she was able, you know, I feel like she is an asset. And this is what Ebony didn't see in her.
Oh no, Rashawn wasn't with Sonia. Ebony was with Sonia.
Was it, yeah, Ebony? It was Ebony. It was it when Sonia came to her house?
When Ebony came to Sonia's house.
When Ebony came to, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Because they visited each other so many times. And every time we see the dogs misbehave. And I hate that. Because
Yeah.
if I had a dog, I wouldn't let my dog watch the show.
Watch the show.
Yeah.
But let me ask you though: have you had someone in your life that was an emotional vampire?
Oof, how many times can I tell you? Like, how many time do I have? How much time do I have? Oh my God, I don't know how to talk anymore. I feel like the worst vampires are those who you think they are real, your friends, but you always feel like you walk on eggshells around them, because there's always a jab that's gonna come at the moment that you least expect.
Can you give me an example of one that you felt
Oh
really
yeah.
was your friend, but they were
Yeah.
getting supply from you? Do you know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean when I say supply?
Oh, she was sucking the life out of me, like for 20 years,
Whoa, that's a long time.
a long time, and phew, gone. But I finally had the guts to. This time I cut her off. Every time she would misunderstand me, she would create drama where there is none. And I was always trying to make it better, to make it nice, and to make it work out and swallow my pride on the premise that I don't have family here. And my friends became so few after the 2016 elections. You know what? When I say it, I'm not exaggerating. I really feel like I can count. I have less friends than I can count in one hand. And you're one of them because we talk a lot. And I tell you, Dana, we talk a lot. Like in my world, like if I have something and I want to say something, you're the first person that comes to my mind. So
Because I started when we had this. I started checking on people.
yeah, because you check on me, and you know what? There's this lady that lives in another state. She never seen me in person, and you have shown me more compassion and it, maybe the word is not concern, but like when you check on me, it's not. It's like that. Then people that I thought they could be taking care of my kids if I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, she was like, finally, I've had it with her. I've had it with her, and I blocked her from all my social media. If you were friends with me on Facebook, you would see every post I have is with her. But you know, I felt it was always around her schedule, always around her availability. It was all around. Like, I remember one time she would, when I would say like, Arabic is my third language,
Yeah.
she would she would antagonize me in that. She was saying that, really, Arabic is your third language? I said, yeah, because when I went to Lebanon, I tried to learn English before because it was easier for me. My first language is Portuguese, honey. Like even that, like she would. And there's another time I was talking, me, her, and her sister who came to visit from Canada, who I still am friends with and I love. They was like, they made me show them my license to believe how old I was because they couldn't wrap their heads that I'm the youngest of the three. I'm like, this is when I was born. And then I look back, I'm like, damn, you know what? Screw them if they want to believe me. Like, how really? My friend, I have to show her my license so that she believes me that
Wow.
how old I am. It's crazy. So I'm telling you, it was an episode. She extremely disrespected my mother. Um, so this is like, I'm going to try to really cut a long story short. I'm gonna try not to be Dorit here, okay? Because I'm long-winded like Dorit. I'm gonna try to be more like a Kathy Hilda. Be short-handed. What happened was, like, my mom was leaving supposedly on a certain date, and I thought because my mom, she had the vaccine, I didn't need a COVID test anymore. And then on the weekend, my mom was supposed to leave on a Monday. So on Friday night, when I checked, I saw her flight changed, so many things. And I'm trying to talk with someone in customer service. Nobody's answering. It's the weekend. So I was panicking. And on the other hand, my mom, whenever she comes here, she buys things. So of course, she had two big pieces of luggage, super overweight. But all along, this friend, she said she's sending to Lebanon nothing but money for her nieces. That's what she said. So based on that, my mom didn't even think, or me, to save her someplace, because usually we do. When we
Yeah.
know someone going, we want to send something. We say, hey, can we send? How big it is, how heavy it is. So, there's this kind of conversation. So always, she wasn't going to send anything. So then on Sunday, when I'm exhausted, when I'm trying to settle my mom's tickets and know the regulations, and I hear her and my son like bumping heads from upstairs trying to fit things, and I want to do my mom's luggage, and I can't be in two places at the same time. So I totally relinquished that. So she calls me, she goes, she was supposed to come and visit. And the day that she was coming to visit, my mom made her favorite thing, that's a Lebanese pastry that takes hours to make. 10, she didn't appear. 11, 12, 1 o'clock. I'm like, when are you coming? And then when she goes, okay, oh, I just finally found the PlayStation and I'm sending it to you with your mom. And then the first word that came from my mouth was, oh my God, she doesn't have space. I said that, Dana, and she, oh, really? You're serious? You're joking now. I'm like, but you never said that you're sending something, and this is what's happening. But that's it. She saw dark. When she came, she gave me an envelope with money. Like, she did so much, like duct tape around it, like as if like we're gonna, which in hindsight, when someone is sending money, you need to count it in front of me and then you seal it. I need
Right.
to know, because you can say there's $10,000 there and there's only 100, as far as
Right.
I'm concerned. So anyhow, so she gives us the envelope. She doesn't want to sit down. She barely wants to say bye to my mom. So we're still thinking my mom is traveling when she is. And then I told her, but I told you, don't return it. We're gonna make it work. I will call the airline when they open to find out what can we do. I'm definitely going to increase the capacity of my mom's luggage, blah blah blah. She didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to stay. And I felt the shift right there and then, because I felt that shift before, but I
Yeah.
always try to work it around it. And then my mom didn't travel. And then when my mom didn't travel, she goes, oh, by the way, she doesn't even need to take the money because I'm going to Lebanon in June. I'm like, okay. Fair enough. So fast forward, my mom, I postponed her travel, and she never texts or calls or nothing. So, and then one day, I'm like, after like 3 weeks, I was like, hey, don't you want to come and pick up the money? Since you said that you're taking it. She goes, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, tomorrow on my way there. And then she doesn't come. She can't see us. That's it. she cannot even see us anymore. And I know that she didn't say that, but she didn't come here because how dare I said no. And that was the first time that I say no to her. So then fast forward, it's almost time for my mom to leave. We were doing last minute shopping. She texts me. She goes, "Oh, do you know so and so in your company?" And then I'm like, she gave me only first name. Uh, Most likely it's an eligible bachelor, okay? And then I'm like, well, I need first and last name because the company I work for, there's more than 10,000 employees in it. And then she goes, you know what? I don't even know if that's his real name, because then she backtracked. I think she regretted because maybe she thought if I would look him up, maybe I will try to approach him. That's the only reasoning. Why would she change? She's the one who texted me. She didn't say hi or anything. Not as if like what happened had happened. And it's been a long time I don't see her.
What a mess.
What a mess. Then a week before my mom is traveling, I decide to take her to the doctor because two years prior had she had a lesion. What do they call, like it's like a pimple, but it's not. It's
Uh,
not a pimple. She had it was
yeah,
something bulging from her face. As soon as I saw her when she came here, my heart sank. I knew it was cancer, and I'm no doctor.
right.
So I take her to the doctor. It's carcinoma. It's a skin cancer. He was able to take it off from her face. So I'm like, now I'm comfortable taking my mom to a doctor so that he sees her again. So I was on my way to take my mom to do the biopsy, because when he saw her, he wasn't concerned where he did the procedure, but he was concerned with the other side. So my alarm went off. I'm like, oh my God, she has cancer somewhere else in her face. So that was my thinking. When she texts me, she doesn't call me. No, no, she called me. She goes, "Hey, when is your mom leaving now?" I said, "Saturday night." It was like Labor Day weekend. And then she goes, "Oh, you know what? I can't. I can't see her. I can't come and see her." I'm like, "How come? Are you traveling?" Then she goes, "Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to get stuck in traffic. I'm not moving from my house." And she lives 40 minutes away. She just got the shack on the beach. She's very rich. She is very, very rich.
Wow.
Like, oh wow, so you don't have to wait till the weekend, you can come before that. And then she goes, and then I got mad at myself. Why am I telling her that? She knows better. Don't you pay
Yeah.
respect for this
Why
one?
accommodate her?
You're saying that you don't want to see my mom because of traffic. And then I'm like, you know what, now I have too much on my plate. And my ex-husband had just left to Lebanon without warning, remember when I told
Right.
you? So
Yeah.
time. So I have that. I have my mom's cancer. And then I have this friendship that I'm starting to see it never was. So I tell her, you know what? I have too much going on. I'm taking my mom to do a biopsy now. She goes, wait, wait, call me. And I'm like, I can't call you right now. So she never called to check on my mom. My mom leaves. On our way to the JFK, my mom asks me, and she broke my heart then. She goes, she didn't even call to say goodbye. And I told her, Mom, no, she didn't. But because when she called me, because she changed her mind, she goes, okay, I will tell my niece to go and get the money from your mom when she gets there. All of us, she changed her mind. So she doesn't not only want to come and see my mom, but she changed her mind. And at that moment, I decided I'm going to forget the money. I forgot. When we came back, I texted her. I said, I forgot your money on the counter. And I don't care if she's listening to this, but she hurt me. And then she goes, oh, thanks. She didn't even ask about my mom's biopsy. Nothing. Did everything go well in the airport? Nothing about my mother. Nothing. And then she goes, oh, tomorrow I will tell my son and his wife to pick it up on their way back home. And then I said, because they're spending the weekend with her in her fabulous apartment. And then I said, oh, I hope they don't get stuck in traffic. And then she goes, oh, you know what? I'm going to tell my other son who lives in your town to come and pick it up in 5 minutes. And then I told her, okay, I will put your envelope in the mailbox outside. It was dark at night. I say that. She starts threatening me that she wants to sue me. She says, you better have $1,500 because I'm calling my lawyer right now. I'm going to bring her at. Yes, this is someone that I used to go sleep over. Whenever she had something, I was the friend that was like the caterer. This is the one that she cried in my shoulder, after two divorces and so many breakups.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? And she called my mom names. She had given my mom $100 as a gift because she didn't have time to buy her a gift. My mom, when she comes here, she brings her spices. She brings her like traditional coffee cups. She always brings her stuff. Like and like things for me. We divide in half, and I give half to her and half to me.
What a
And
mess.
so this is why she gifted my mom. So when her son came, I made sure he counted the money so that she can't say that the money wasn't there. And her son, he was present when I was begging her to bring the PlayStation back. And he saw she did. I said, you know what? I don't know what to do with your mom. I said it would work out, but that was it for her. But I'm glad you were able to count the money and to see that I'm no thief. She never had anything missing from her house. And I slept so many nights over there. So he leaves, and then like I start like texting her, and I say, bitch, you can't sue me. Your son counted the money. Okay, I hope your money keeps you warm. And then she started calling me names and calling my mother names. She insulted my mother, and for me that was it. And I was like,
I
I
would have
was
been done a long time ago.
you F that. And you know what? And then I blocked her from everywhere, but I forgot to block her from my email. And then on the email, she sends me an email saying, since your mother didn't take the money for my niece, I need the $100 back, because I gave her $100 as if she employed my mom or she hired my mom to do her a job. This is what she did. And then when I told her, oh, if we're counting, when your son got married, I gave him this. And when he had his baby, I gave him this. You owe me money, bitch. I said, you owe me money if we're counting, since you're not a good friend. So, and then I blocked her from my email. And she has the audacity to call my mom in Lebanon and ask her for the money back. She wants the $100 back. This woman just bought a 1.3 million apartment.
So much negative energy.
It's like, and after that I felt such lightness. Yes, I'm not hanging out with someone, but then again, I don't feel like, oh, I might say something that might upset her, or she might make fun of me, or it was like it's abusive relationship. Like whenever you're friends with a narcissist, it's an abusive relationship.
If you're in any kind of relationship where you have to be careful of what you say all the time, or let's say that you accidentally slip up and you cannot remedy that by a conversation, a loving conversation, right? Then look what happened when you gave the money back. That was insanity. Insanity. It should have been like, okay, the money's back, we're done. But it turned into that. That is abusive, right?
And I never got anything from her. Whenever we go out, we split the bills. It's not like she's giving anything. I never made her pay for me. I never got a freebie or anything. It's I was the fill-in friend when she didn't have a date to go out.
Narcissists typically get some kind of supply from the people they're around. They like to be around people that they can take pieces and parts from to make themselves feel better.
Was to her what Bravo was to Ramona, but now Bravo is taking the slack. Like, look at the monster, and the ratings are dropping. So I always felt like after being with her that the oxygen, I need to breathe. There was an uneasiness. Now that you said that, I never spoke about her. Well, I don't have anybody to tell her, to talk about her anyways. But, but it's like, I'm shocked that I'm not crying.
Yeah. Have you ever had a friend that said, if you do that, you'd look better? Or, just little tiny digs at you to make you feel a little bit depleted.
Yeah.
A lot of times narcissists will be around people. Well, covert narcissists, the difference in that one is they will love bomb you, but they will be around people that they want to be like. There are things about you that they want to be like. You see what I'm saying? That they'll try to mimic or take from you some things that you are. That is a covert narcissist. Direct narcissists like Ramona, they just fire away.
She's a Ramona big time. She used to be rude sometimes. I would to push back. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, do you see I have an accent? I wasn't born in Lebanon. She was always like, when I mentioned that I was born in Lebanon, it's kind of like she thought I was showing off. Which I wasn't. I was born in the third world. Hello.
Right.
And
Or
parents
they'll correct your accent, or you know what I mean?
I have an accent. I don't hear it, but when I hear myself talking, I'm like, damn, I have an accent. I never thought I had an accent until you hear yourself, right? And it's like, I feel like this time, what really pissed her off is that I blocked her. It wasn't like I showed her, finally, I don't need you,
Right.
to the dust with you. And I remember a long time ago when I first filed for divorce, when I didn't have a job, I applied for a job in the company that she works. She's very high up there. You want to tell me you're my friend and you have your very high rank in the company you work for, and you know that I'm struggling, I am trying to get out of this marriage and I don't have a job, you wouldn't at least get me like a receptionist job? You, I
Yeah.
know you would. I know you would. So when I applied, I applied and I find no. Before I applied, she goes, "Oh, you can't commute. You have little kids." And then I got to the point. I'm like, can you stop saying I can't? You tell me I can't. I'm gonna show you I will. Like you
Yeah.
were divorced with 3 kids and you commuted. Why could you and I can't? Can you stop saying that I need? I'm gonna make it work. So I finally got the interview, this and that, but I don't get the job. I felt like it was death because that was going to be life changing, you know.
Yeah.
But and I didn't get it. But now in hindsight, can you imagine I got that job? The
It would
least she would
hell.
do, she would cause me trouble right now. Not
Yeah.
only say I made you, but or I gave you this job, but I I could very likely be laid off because she doesn't like me, and she's high rank there, and I'm like, enough is enough. You reach your breaking point. I want to breathe. I'm starting like I can breathe. Like she used to take so much time, even my free time when I didn't. The situation makes you your own victim. This is how I think I victimized myself, not the poor me, but I made myself a victim of my own circumstances. Like when I don't have my kids during the weekends, I used to dread being alone.
Right.
Uh, Dread. So I was always so happy when she would say, "Hey, come over." And so I wouldn't be alone. So most of the time, I would be with her, but not essentially doing things that I needed to do to feel better during the week. Get my house in order, or do the errands that I can do because I have a full-time job. So all of a sudden now I'm feeling all this extra time that I have, and
Yeah.
believe me, busy.
You know,
But
funny thing is, as I got older, and I guess too, when I was younger, and I was trying to tell Eden this, she has struggled because she has some spiritual gifts, and the more you wrap them up tight and stuff them in and don't want them,
yeah,
it can make you have anxiety and depression.
oh,
That's true. I didn't want a lot of mine, and it made me have anxiety and depression. When I started embracing them with some help of mentors and Dr. Roll and et cetera, I started feeling a little more free. The gift of that is it started allowing me to like being alone, which is weird. I like having alone time.
I don't like it. I really don't. And I feel like today okay, everybody, it's a weekend, but because my ex is doing some work in his home, so I have my kids.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm like that. But usually on Saturdays, I'm alone and I hate that. And I put myself in that situation where I thought having someone sucking the oxygen out of me is better than being alone. And that couldn't be
Yeah.
further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. You know, and COVID made it even more evident,
Right.
you know. But then again, during COVID, yes, I met people on YouTube world that deeply disappointed me, but at least I discovered that I got to the point of disappointment way faster, which at least I didn't invest time, so time wasn't wasted. But then on the other hand, I met you know, like I really feel oh when I can't make it or I can't even listen because I'm either driving someone or my friends have or my kids have friends over. So you know, it's um it's like there's always good and bad. I just feel like I'm sorry if my story was long, but I'm telling you, it's 20 years that I tried to
Yeah.
as in one incident. And it's just like yes, you better alone than with bad company.
I mean, like Adam says, me too, Miriam. I can totally relate to what you went through. I come from a family, both sides of the family are narcissists and toxic and hypocritical. I don't have anything to do with them. It can
Tough.
be very painful when it's family, particularly, and you have to cut cords with them
I
because there's parts of you that still love them.
listen. I hate the holidays. The holidays. I hate the holidays
Oh, honey.
because it's like. See, I don't have that thing. Oh, I'm friends with this person since childhood. Just because my parents opted to be immigrants in Brazil, then they wanted to go back to Lebanon, and now I'm here in the United States. And then I can't even go visit Lebanon. And it's like it's very lonely. It's very lonely. And here in the United States, like when you're making friends around you, most of them are only friends for a season. It's like they are friends with you as long as your kids do the same things. Like I had friendships that I thought would be for life, but as soon as the kids got to a certain age where like her son likes basketball, my son likes soccer, that friendship starts dissolving.
Wait a
And
minute. You had your birthday, right?
no, my birthday's coming up in September, not now.
September, that's right. September the 10th.
Oh, no.
Is it the 10th?
Yeah, I decided I'm going to work. I'm not taking off. I'm going to work.
We have to have a virtual birthday party for you.
I'm going to work. I might do a live. I never do a live, like just go live and say hi to everybody from Bryant Park. But that's it. I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna go to work, and hopefully I can go every day, safe, and because I'll be back at the office. So
While I'm thinking about it, fingers crossed, some of you may have seen her. Look, I have been talking to someone that tends to, she says, from what I read, be reclusive. She has the voice of an angel. Of an angel.
is she an angel?
Maybe. She needs to be connected to someone in the music scene that can be trusted.
Oh, you're talking about the really singing voice.
Yes.
Can you bring her over one night to
Look,
sing to us?
I'm trying to get her here next Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Something to look for.
I would love to get her connected to someone in the music scene that could manage her and take her all the way. That would be a good person, a good woman or man that wouldn't take advantage of her because she needs to be heard all over the
How old
world.
is she? Can we know?
Do what now?
How old is she?
I'm guessing in her 20s.
Oh, so that's great.
but it will be a crime if the world does not hear her.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
So, fingers crossed, next Saturday. I want to hear about her life. I asked if we could have an appointment on Zoom so she can get comfortable with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to set it up so somebody across YouTube world that is right for her hears her and takes her on. And I'm going to contact Lizzo.
Yeah, tag. The thing is, post our videos and tag famous people. You don't know; they might just listen and then, whoa, I want to work with that. This is how Justin Bieber was discovered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she is incredible.
Okay, can I throw your question back at you?
Yeah.
Without naming names, do you want to share an experience that you had with someone narcissist?
Yes.
Please do.
Well, I'm believing they may be a little bit of a covert narcissist, but they would be very kind and love bombing, and then I would see them do things that were a little bit mimicky, and then they would have a lot of things that you would worry about them about, and then they would throw something at me that I would be like, okay, what the hell? I don't know what's going on here. And then the next thing I know, they were literally following my family members, my siblings, my daughter's friends, my husband's family members.
Ooh.
I mean, it went on and it creeped me out so bad. Creeped me out so bad that I had just to block everything. This was over time.
That was single white female-ish.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a kind person, but I was just like, okay, I can't. It stressed me out so bad that my inner gut and my angels were like, nope, this is it. Nope, 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 stop. I couldn't engage anymore. I had to draw the line. I wasn't going to fight this out. It felt too weird. I showed my husband and my daughter. My daughter went to her, because some of her friends are underage. My daughter went to her friends and said, you need to block this person. And I didn't want to go to family members and say, hey, this is what is going on. Because can you believe, what would my family say?
Oh, God. Thank God she didn't cause anybody harm, because people who go those lengths, you really have to be scared of them.
I mean, that's too far.
Yeah.
So I just finally, and it's not me to have to go so far as to block, but I had to.
Yeah, you had no choice. You had to do that.
I mean, it made me feel freaked out all the way in the core of my stomach. You know what I mean?
I was freaked out for you.
Yeah.
I could not believe, like, that is really talking one-on-one where it becomes dangerous.
So then,
you just stopped her before it went
too far.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, this is YouTube? I mean, and then I hear him say, my best friend, blah, 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 toxic. And I'm thinking, your best friend? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, I have to love my family, protect myself, use my gut, move forward. Don't be negative. Just use your integrity, move forward.
Okay. What about narcissists, that type of, like, they are so friendly on their way up, and when they reach to a certain point, they don't know us?
Well, then they've used the supply they needed.
Yes.
They get their supply from other places.
So how do we control the supply of kindness and that we have? Because it's like
you broke up.
We give them the supply for them to be the way they are.
because you don't recognize that you are the source of supply.
Yeah.
We have to take a certain amount of responsibility. Sometimes you don't recognize that you are the source of supply. Look, I've been in another narcissistic relationship, and it was family, and then you love that family, and that gets complicated. You see what I'm saying? It's complicated when it's family and you love that person. Or it's complicated when it's a spouse or a relationship because you love that person. So you're sort of enmeshed because they can love you and it can be nice and kind and okay 1 minute. And then the next minute, they're taking supply from you and reducing how you see yourself. So you're kind of enwrapped in that and you have a diminished view of yourself.
Yeah, totally get it.
So they're taking supply from you so they feel better about themselves, and then you start to feel diminished about yourself.
Because if you're just giving, 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 and you're not getting anything in return.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it becomes sort of the A word.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people like that, and we share
Finish.
we share common narcissist friends. You and I.
Finish says,
No, I can't read.
yeah,
No,
I was going to go with creepy stalking behavior always gives me the heebie jeebies as I am ridiculously paranoid. Yeah, the creepy stalking behavior. Ugh.
she's so paranoid that I don't have her number.
Do what now?
She's so paranoid that I don't have her number. By now, I would think that we would have exchanged numbers.
I know I don't like it that she's not on social media and we can't communicate with her. Vintage optimism. And I sent her an email and never got one back.
Oh my God, Vintage, we're putting you on blast. When I go back to the office, you better come and meet me downtown.
And I'm so happy that Shannon was on here tonight. And I've seen,
Shan is,
Adam, how is your fiance, by the way?
hey, Shan. Where's Shan?
Oh, she may be listening right now. Adam, how is your fiance? And Dalston girl was on here. How did I miss her? She may have gone back to sleep. Original Dalston girl. Love her accent to death and love her to death. She's gorgeous, by the way. I saw her recently. She is beautiful.
Oh.
Anita Wakochi? Anita Wakochi?
Let me
Love
check.
seeing her.
Wakochi.
Wakochi. Reminds
Wako.
me of an Indian name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
I'd like to hear in the chat, have any of you been bitten by an energy vampire or a spiritual vampire?
Come on, call in. We want to see you talk your experience. We want to listen.
Yeah.
Let's be
Somebody call in and tell me your experience. I would guarantee you everybody has had an experience with somebody that has sucked them dry. You've been in a what now?
It's not only you and me, all of us. We just
No. You've been around them and you're just like, ugh. Because one of the other things is they tend to want to. You'll tell a story about what's happened to you, and then they have one that's bigger or worse. You know what I mean?
the lack of empathy that they have to what you just told them.
Oh yeah.
Another trait that
Like they never heard what you said. They didn't even hear it.
no, it's like they don't care. They don't give a damn. What if even like when you ask for help, just because
Aww.
they could help you because they have gone through a similar experience and then they are stingy about that. For me, that's the ultimate cruelty that there is. When you ask for help from this person who you thought was your friend, and they just brush it off and say no, it's like that is, but they take and they took from you so much, so much, so much. It's just, you know, It's being stingy. They're stingy with their time or with any type of help that they could help you, but they suck everything out of you.
Paranormal says Dana saved me from energy vampires. Gone finally at Dana. Paranormal, I did not save you. You saved yourself, honey. You are a warrior, and it took time and it was hard, girl. I know it was hard because of the position you were in, but you gained your strength. You've got those babies, and you did it yourself, girl. I just supported you. I love you.
Yeah, but support is very important, Dana. Without having someone to support you, it's hard to break the mold and do what you need to do. So I totally understand where she's coming from. Support is very, I know at the end of the day, if your skin is itching, it's you who scratched it, no one else, because no one knows where's the spot. But having support is very, very important. So I don't know what happened to her, but I can understand you supporting her, how much she appreciates it.
And Adam, we are going to continue to send your fiance healing. Listen, if they can show her
Oh,
photo,
this his fiance. I mixed up last time.
if they can continue, if they can show her photos or little videos of her life, it will help jog her memory. And even songs that she likes, particularly songs that she likes that are attached to certain memories, will help her memory come along quicker. Particularly songs. If you can tell them that, and I'm speaking as a psychologist there, if there are certain songs attached to memories, that will help her memory come along quicker.
Yeah. So she lost her memory now?
Yeah, because she's in an accident.
Oh,
I love all of you so much. Look, another thing, let me tell you, narcissists, energy suckers, they do not like it when you are direct with them.
yeah.
They don't like it when you're direct with them.
Yeah.
They like it when you blow wind up their skirt. They like it when you go along with what they say. They love to gaslight you.
Ramona. Ramona.
They love to gaslight you to confuse you, to make you think you don't remember things correctly. So you think you're crazy.
You know,
Don't,
is that the dynamic of what we're talking about, Ramona and Sonia? Like
uh,
Sonia gives and gives. She gives Ramona the entertainment. She gives Ramona a topic to talk about so that she doesn't have to talk about anything going on with her life. So, and I feel like now Sonia is coming, getting to a point like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I can't put up with her crap.
Ramona's fed up. Ramona is not stupid like everybody wants to assume.
No, she's not. She's smart as a fox. I feel like she was extremely triggered by everything that they said because that's everything that she stands for. She is very, I hear,
And I hate to say this, I really hate to say it, but underneath it all, Ramona really is a racist.
oh, she is 100,000%.
She wants to play like she's somewhat woke and on top of things just by virtue of being on the show, and she doesn't want to be kicked off, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I feel like she doesn't want even the show to talk about these issues because she doesn't believe in them. She doesn't acknowledge their existence. It's a supremacy thing. You know, when, like, I agree with Ebony when she said, when you call someone white supremacist, it doesn't mean like they're wearing those white caps and they have the torches. That's not only that. There's the complex inside of some people that they think that they are better than others, and she's one of them.
Oh, absolutely. It, here's the thing, Ramona, she okay, she can run businesses and stuff, and she's smart to a degree, but she is not a genius.
She's oh my God, she can't. She I think Teresa Giudice has better grammar than she does, and we know how Teresa speaks.
I mean, there is a reason why she's not with a man. Let's put it that way. I don't feel like they could tolerate her for so long.
I would say, I feel like because she's looking for, I think deep down what Mario did to her hurt her, but I'm not gonna say I don't blame Mario. At the end of the day, cheating is wrong. Period.
Yeah.
But I can see what took him towards that path or that choice.
Oh, my favorite bear is here. JC Bear.
And she
Yeah.
has some stories that he could tell us. But JC Bear, you're being stingy. Come on and share your story of a narcissist.
Who is another soul sucker on Bravo you could think about? A
Um,
complete a complete soul sucker and narcissist.
well, Luan is one, but I don't get her as being racist, but she is a privilegist. Means she lived a life of privilege.
She'll step back if someone confronts her.
Yes. And not only that, she listens. And for me, she redeemed herself with the work she's doing with the ex convicts.
Yeah, good point.
She redeemed her. Like she's allowed to make some mistakes because she's doing good somewhere. I don't see Ramona doing that type of good anywhere. Because if she was, she would, oh my God, she would do parties about it. Last time she tried to do a charity event, it went downhill when she couldn't pronounce the lady's name.
Oh
So
yeah, Lisa Rinna's pure evil.
if she's evil, I wouldn't say she's a narcissist per se. Um, uh,
Yeah, she is.
I think she's a hypocrite, a pure hypocrite. That's who she is. And she's an opportunist. I think everything she does, that she doesn't care how much of a hypocrite she will come about, as long as she saves her spot in the show, she doesn't care. She's really a hustler. And I'm not saying that as a compliment, because, even in your hustle, you have to have some dignity. She loses it completely.
Once upon a time I liked her, but I swear I almost feel like she made a deal with the devil. I swear I feel like that.
Yeah, she.
And Erica is a close second.
Erica, no, I think Erica, because I think she's a narcissist, and now it's showing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, at that dinner party, I was so mad at all women. Like, it wasn't like I was exhausted, like after I watched Ramona do what she did at the Shabbat dinner. But with them, I was so mad because they are scared of Erica.
Yeah.
Because Erica is the ultimate bully. And she is the ultimate person that's your friend, shows you love, but you don't know when she's going to attack you. Like the ways that she flipped on Teddy. Now, all of a sudden, they're friends. Um, I feel like her friendship with Teddy, because I saw a video of Kyle and Kathy saying that, oh, and her and Teddy and Erica, they're very close. Yeah, can we say they're close as to her husband providing this security during the staged robbery? Yes, I'm sure they're close friends. So for me, Erica, she's the ultimate narcissist because she's not talking for a second about the victims.
You know what just crossed my mind, and it probably isn't true, but think about it. Teddy would be the perfect one to hide some things at, for Erica to hide some things at, because it's the least likely place.
Yeah. I think all women are hiding stuff for Erica. All of them, especially Rena. And when for me, what was like the exclusive that Adam had with Ronald Richards, and everybody's talking about it without mentioning Up and Adam, and that makes me so mad as well.
Yeah.
The exclusive is Up and Adams, okay? For me, when he said that they share a business manager, business manager means it's the guy that hold the books. So most likely some money was moved around from Erica's LLC into the Lip LLC. so that she can have money aside. Because the way that Lisa is protecting Erica, it's like it's complicit. But for me, here's the thing, because we might have some Erica fans that are still her fans right now.
Oh,
She
you know they are.
oh, listen that. Listen, it's irrelevant if she knew what Tom was doing or not. Now she knows. Now she knows. And now all the women know that her timeline that she's given, that Tom changed and things start like getting out of his hands. 3 years is not congruent with the 10 years or more that he has been doing this. To
No, that's ridiculous.
exactly, that's ridiculous. For me, I wish the women of Beverly Hills, if they are watching, you know what? No, seriously, I'm like so livid with them because they had a golden chance to make it right.
Yeah.
Erica, we will support you in this. This is how we can help you. We're going to make an auction. All your items. We're going to invite our friends, just like they do, like charity events for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. They could have done one so that the money goes all to the victims and start repaying them. Everybody would be a winner. The woman would have been winners. Erica would have been a winner because she could then have said, I didn't know this was going on, even if Tom is innocent, but just the fact that these victims didn't get their money and I was living off of them without knowing, I need to sleep at night and I'm gonna do the best that I can. She would have secured her diamond. Everybody, I would be all the way Team Erica if she was doing the right thing. But for me, what kills me is that she's begging for empathy when she doesn't give an ounce of empathy. She's the ultimate non-empath person on earth. Like,
Hmm.
finally, when Garcelle mentioned the victims, that they started mentioning the victims. And
Then she said something.
yeah, like, do something, woman of Beverly Hills. You can do it. You do a charity event. Everybody, all your friends, if you want to be really friends of Erica, you're going to buy her outfit. Give her outfit back, but you would put the money in the you can write that off from your taxes, ladies. And that
Yeah,
would, and $10,000 of your pocket, even 100,000 won't be like a drop in the bucket. You
I
won't feel
agree.
it. They could have done that, but no one is doing that. What they're like choosing to do is to deflect, to make now of Garcelle an angry bully black woman. That's listen, there's all racial connotations there. Now they're moving their target from Sutton to Garcelle because Sutton is too rich and she always gives them goodies every time they go out that they don't want to get get rid of it. No, they don't want to stop.
Lose that option.
Yeah, so now they are gunning for Garcelle again, and I feel like, oh my god, like. Uh, how wrong can you go? Like they, it's so easy to do, and they have everything to do the right thing by the victims. If I'm going to buy that Erica didn't know, if I'm going to buy her ignorance, that she was just getting money for the sake of money, but even her love for Tom is not adding up. Because if you really love a person that all of a sudden is going through dementia, you leave him. No, this is when you hold his hand if you really love him, or if you really are appreciative of all the money he gave you and he supported your dreams and
The
your
whole
aspirations.
the whole thing. I mean, when I look at the whole thing, to me, it looks like they had a conversation. She thought he was such a genius. He'd be able to smooth it all out. You know, he had conversations in front of her with the families saying, just trust me. I'm going to take care of it. Bada, bada, bada. That's how they do it. You know, he's had conversations. She's learned things from him. The robbery, in my opinion, the robbery was a setup. Somebody knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody. It was staged. It would be placed somewhere. It was a
100.
whole setup. Then that they get divorced so she could be less complicit, and they could do their
So she
thing.
hide the money because I think their flirt first, they got away for so long that they became so
Yeah.
cocky that they would never get caught up. They said, okay, this is what you're gonna do. You're going to go on the show and start talking about my mental illness, because all the stories that she's given on the show goes hand in hand with Tom's defense. It's the same story. This is why we know they're talking. So her coming on the show now, there is a purpose. Her filing for divorce, there is a purpose in that. They thought that they could have hidden asset, because she was going to take a lot of money from him, because it's common law,
Common law.
in California. So her money would be off limits for whatever
He was
Tom.
getting sued for.
Yeah, he was gonna give her what he was gonna be generous in that divorce. But because the lawsuits about the victims started coming up at the same time, and then we had people talking. I remember very clearly, I was on YouTube when Andrew, like little Andrew, rich Andrew, when he mentioned that this divorce is fishy, and he started digging into Tom's airplanes
Yeah.
and the way they were moving around. This is where the sham divorce really started. And and this is where a little tiny person on YouTube broke the Titans plan. This is how I describe Dave and Goliath thing. He put that crack, then everybody started digging, and then it was crystal clear what they're doing. And now for her, like, to say that she didn't know, okay, bitch, now you know. What are you doing to make the wrong right?
Yeah. And
What,
I,
wait, right? Because you're driving a Range Rover right now, not a
yeah.
Lamborghini.
I even said before that if she had made any kind of effort whatsoever to liquidate some of it and try to do the right thing, she would have had a book offer. She might have had a movie thing going.
Oh yeah,
She would have more than tripled what she lost, and then had public, opinion be more on her side, and she wouldn't been in this, this shit show
but
that
don't.
she's in.
She chose to do this because she's a true narcissist, because she couldn't see beyond that. If she had that empathy, or she would have thought, she doesn't feel guilty for having lived all that life with blood money. She doesn't show any remorse. She doubles down on the victims.
Like a
And
pit bull.
exactly. That's what she does. So I'm like, this is why I feel like she knew, just because of what she's doing now. She knew. If she didn't know, and if she wasn't a person with values, that would never have done that, or would feel horrible for the victims. Just her wardrobe, she can raise for $1 million out of her wardrobe. She has Versace's, Louboutins, she has like Gucci's, she has everything in the book. And she has pieces that she has never worn.
Right. And it just, when she would go on YouTube, not YouTube, when she would go on Instagram, and some people would make comments that weren't even vitriol or derogatory, but they were questions they wanted answered, and she would just be nasty to them. And I was like, whoa.
Remember how nasty she was? Because there's a woman, she created a meme. Meme is happy and funny, right?
Yeah.
So she took that meme without giving credits to the person. She's a Bravo, one of the Bravo big Instagram accounts, okay?
Yeah.
So Erica took that and posted, and she goes, she commented, oh, it would have been nice if you mentioned, gave me credits, because I'm the one who created this. And
Right.
Erica went ballistic on that woman.
Yeah,
And
no.
all her Erica trolls. Oh my God. Like, just the amount of vitriol that she got. She got nasty messages from Erica. She was getting nasty messages from all her fans. How dare you, this and that. Like, it is like the cult. Like, when it becomes a cult, this is when it becomes dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
people hurt you. Doesn't mean that they have to hurt you physically, but emotionally and mentally. totally you can get hurt in social media. And she is, oh my God, she is the biggest of them all. And to be honest with you, I think from the get-go it was a business arrangement. He was her target demographic, money wise. She didn't care, and he looked okay. She was attractive when she met him. It was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, he's gonna make her vomit. Even now, he aged gracefully until he started wanting to look like he has dementia. But so it was all of us. He goes, okay, I will fund you. You would be perfect for me because this is, maybe he didn't tell her in details, but I need someone like you. Like she was his perfect money laundering situation.
Yeah.
That he would say, okay, I don't have money now.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. She spent all the money. Where's the money? I spent all on Erica. And she's so dumb. Like narcissists, they think that they're very smart, but they are not. Because the way she doesn't realize that the way she's portraying that he is not, he's mentally incapacitated, puts her as the sole mentally capacitated
Yeah.
person to be liable and accountable. So I am telling you, Tom is gonna get away like, you know, like you take a hair out of a pile of dough. But she is setting herself to be liable to pay. She's gonna pretend maybe at some point she's gonna stop working, just like the fathers that don't want to pay child support. They say, I'm unemployed. She's gonna do the same thing, and she's gonna be fine because Garcelle told her, Erica, you're gonna be fine no matter what. And this is when Erica said, yeah, true, I'm going to be fine. So you're going to be fine. Stop crying and saying, this is so hard. This is so hard. What is hard? You got out of an abusive relationship, supposedly. Or what is it hard? That you don't have your glam squad again anymore? Is that what is hard for you? That you're driving like a very expensive Range Rover and not a Lamborghini? We're supposed to cry with you? I can't even relate to her as a divorced woman.
Vintage says, let me see what, pull that back up. She said, I find it hard, wait a minute, I find it weird that she had billboard hits, but no one ever heard of her before the Housewives. I was not surprised when I heard that she was paying people off for that spotlight, allegedly.
With the money that amounted to be more than $20 million from the Girardi law firm. This is how she was paying. I feel like even her coming to the Housewives was in his mind to get more people come after him because he's coming to this housewife as this the biggest, the better, the legendary attorney that defends those who were wronged. So people said, "Oh my God, let me go to Tom Girardi," and you know, it's a slam dunk case. He gets the money. He starts saying, "Oh, I'm not going to give you all the money because you might lose it. Let me invest it for you." So he was invested. Hey!
Bringing a vintage!
Surprise!
I'm alive.
Anita says, Andy Cohen keeps supporting violent women and women thieves. That is true.
That is true.
It should be called not Housewives anymore.
It's not.
It should be called Felon Women of.
It's like it's a prerequisite to have some lawsuits haunting you to become a housewife. I wish they would ask for, say, it's going to stay extremely confidential, but we need to get your taxes. I want to know you're really rich.
Oh, do background checks. How many times have you been in jail?
That's something that I find interesting just because, like, you know, Jen Shah, who does the background checks? I can understand how someone maybe like Dorit, you know, she goes a couple of seasons and slowly you get suspicious. But Jen Shah, like after the first season, like what? The first episode is her going to get arrested. I think it should be a prerequisite. Like, I'm sorry, if you want to be a housewife, can I just see your financials? We just want to make sure you're actually a wife.
That you don't have any lawsuits pending.
Lawsuits,
or what type of law,
embezzlement.
you know what I mean?
Have you
Like,
beat
just
anybody's ass?
Google search.
Yeah, like, is there any franchise where there hasn't been a criminal housewife?
No, now it's like really bad. I think fake wealth, yes, fake wealth. All the franchises, even Ramona now, she's portraying, I think, herself to be this wealthy. I think the only things that she has now is the Hampton, which is not little, the Hamptons house and the apartment, which I would think maybe it's a lease. It's not really in her name.
They canceled
Because,
Dallas,
yeah,
That woman is
Dallas only
thirsty.
people were really rich. Three people were really rich in Dallas:
and then they cancel one more.
Stephanie, Giandra, and Tiffany Moon. The
But
only
didn't they cancel another?
they paused the Miami, but now it's coming back on Peacock.
But I thought they were maybe they're pausing New York. I think they're pausing New York.
I
I
would
know
not
New
be
York.
surprised.
They didn't film. The feeder is going off. New York, they're pausing the reunion because it seems like Ramona, she doesn't want to talk about what happened.
She doesn't want to talk about the racism.
Yeah, her racism. She doesn't want to talk about. Guess what, Bravo? Don't pay her. The check that she was supposed to get, give it to a black business or invest in a black charity.
I don't know. See, Ramona was ridiculous, but at
Give
the
it to
same
me.
time, I kind of feel like it's a generational thing as well. Like, there's a lot of crazy with Ramona, so trying to sift through the crazy is it's an uphill battle. But sometimes I do think it's a generational thing, and she doesn't even realize she has no filter, and nothing about that's going to change.
I think she does realize she has no filter and she doesn't care.
She has been
Oh,
she
that's
had like
wicked.
that from the get-go. Like she's always vitriol. She was vitriol to Bethany so many times. She was vitriol to Sonia. I feel like she mentally abuses Sonia, and she was vitriol to who else? Like to Luann. Like I remember, but that's my. I'm guilty of that. That's my favorite housewife moment ever. When Luann was coming down the stairs to surprise Jill singing for Jill and her birthday party, she really looked like a drag queen because she's tall and she goes, "Oh, that's Lou Man." I thought she was a drag queen. So she called her Lunan. Like
I,
she has always, I can't now, she's getting older and I feel like we have a spot that we feel sorry for her. Maybe it's age, but she has been like that forever. So no sympathy from me to Ramona, who is one big hypocrite. The way she talks about men and dates and everything, and she wants to be this prude when it's Leah talking. Like, come on, your daughter watched the show, so
Well, I
I
hope nobody's mean to me as I get old.
that's ageism.
I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but you know what I mean.
yeah, it's like Ramona is terrible. Ramona and Erica, to be honest with you, they're the worst housewives of all times. Even more. Oh, come on, no, it's got to be a three. I have to put Teresa Giudice there because
Okay,
she's a narcissist. She's everything. She's never accountable. She thinks she's better than anybody else. But I never saw Teresa as a racist. I'm gonna give her that.
Vintage, what has been your experience with um, Energy Vampire?
I'm gonna grab a couple.
Um, I've had a couple. Uh, I tend to fall in a situation where my best friend kind of becomes my lover. And a lot of my friends are artists. And I dated someone for a while and I started to find it strange because she would mimic my art style.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
covert narcissist.
yeah, I questioned that. Like, because when you were talking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. Even right down to a lot of my mannerisms. Like, I shaved my head when my first year in college. Um, And then 2 weeks later, she shaved her head. And then she always wanted me to draw something to. She had tattoos, and she wanted me to do a symbol for her and have it tattooed on her. And that's when I got this icky feeling.
Yeah.
And I never did it. Like, I just kind of played the dance of avoidance. And that was my experience. And I was with her for like 2 years, and it was very, very toxic. To the point where I realized like a lot of my interests instantly became her interests.
Right. Did she love bomb you ever? Where it would
Wait,
be love, 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 and then all of a sudden there would be an issue you didn't understand.
yeah, like she'd throw tantrums if I didn't do things that she wanted. So that was kind of weird. And I'd never been in a relationship like that before. So, and because we had the foundation of friendship, I just sort of talk it through and figure out why she was upset and try to just go with that. But there was a point where I stopped drawing for about a year.
Mm.
Just because I didn't feel comfortable drawing around her. We used to do jam comics or like finish each other's paintings originally, and then she just started to make me feel really weird.
What is that painting that you just put away, Miriam?
Yeah, what is it? Let me see.
Is it she
She ran away. What was that painting?
and oops. She'll
The
pop
dance of avoidance.
back.
It's real.
Erica and Ramona are kind of the same person with their personality traits. They should be friends because it's horrible. They'd eat each other up. I don't know. Erica would probably eat Ramona up.
I actually saw King Kong versus Godzilla. I think it would be something like that. Like if you just left them alone in a room, they would both irritate the crap out of each other.
If you had a house that had all of the nastiest housewives in it, could you imagine?
Well, one of my favorite movies is Clue. They're just keeping them all in a house. I love that idea.
Okay, this is my daughter. She did this to me, and it's from a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So she drew me from that picture.
That's beautiful.
It's really good.
That's my daughter's art.
I like that. Did she
Take a
just do
break.
it?
That's acrylic?
Maybe. Yeah.
It's really nice.
I'm an ignorant art. I just know that I have an artist as a daughter. So.
Did she just do that?
No, this was my last year. This is from a picture me and a friend of mine when we went to watch Tina Turner. That picture, it's so accurate. She just took me and she made this portrait for me.
Aww.
It's not narcissist, but it's my daughter. Get it?
My daughter's got pictures on her wall. She's got one of her and her dad and stuff. And I'm like, hey, you don't have a picture of me anywhere. She goes, well, you don't hardly ever get in any pictures. And I thought, I better in case something happens to me. And she's like, well, I don't have a picture of my mom. That's sad, isn't it?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we all have those. It's icky.
That you think it's your friend. It's like they are there just to steal your creative.
It's like one of those horror movies.
Yeah, full-time horror movies.
How about anybody else in the chat?
Anyone else have any vampires in their lives?
I live in a cave of vampires.
I could see that. I could see that for you.
Teresa is a racist. She told Sophia the Vigilaria to go back to her country. Vigilaria, what is that?
Bulgaria. Bulgaria.
At first I thought you meant Sophia Vergara. I thought, Sophia Vergara would take her out. You know who Sophia Vergara is, the actress?
Yeah, from Modern Family.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Could you imagine her and Teresa Giudice, she would put her in her place.
Listen, I was told to go back to my country at the traffic light once. I don't know what made him think. I wasn't talking, obviously, to the guy, but somehow I think he assumed that I'm a foreigner. So when he he surpassed me, he bypassed me, goes, go back to your country. I'm like, what? But then I remember I had in my car a sticker that says, what does it say? I have it in the fridge now.
Does it say shit happens?
Wait a second, let me show you. I love it. Wait.
And then we remember that this country was founded.
It probably says, I'm not from here.
See, I have this, but I have this in the bumper of my car.
Was it coexist?
Coexist.
Here's JC Bear.
Bear!
JC Bear, woo, it's a party.
Hello.
It's a party in the USA.
Yes.
Because I had this, he told me, go back to your country. How did he know? I wasn't talking to him. He just didn't like my driving.
Oh, wow. I truly think narcissists you can find out as their kids and it throughout your teens. Because I didn't find this out till later. When like elementary school and so forth, you know how sometimes you achieve something and it's announced through the school and so forth. And I had done that a couple of times. And what I found out later in life from my mom is that my supposed best friend would run home to my place to inform my parents that I had won something before I had a chance to.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Steal your thunder.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But I didn't find out about it till much later when my parents pulled me aside and told me. They didn't tell me at that time. They tell me later. And I'm like, what a little bastard. Like that was my moment to shine, but they had to take it away from me telling my parents. And I found that throughout the years, certain things that I've achieved,
wow,
other people will start taking credit for. You start talking to them, and it's like, well, I helped you win that, or I helped you get ready for that competition, or items like that. And I kind of look at them and I'm like, were you up on stage giving the speech? Were you up, going through and doing fundraising and going around? And no, you weren't. I said, you were standing back watching me do that. Is that considered taking credit for me achieving something? And slowly I just kind of cut those people out of my life, because no matter what I set a goal to achieve, somehow, if I achieve it, they're going to take a piece of the credit for it.
Yeah.
And that's those. But during the competition or during anything that I was getting ready for, they'd be like, oh, right up there. Yes. We're here, like ingratiating themselves to me and saying, here's some advice or here's some of this and stuff. But as soon as I achieved it, it was like, oh, I had no talent on my own. Somehow it was yours. So yeah, I have had those people throughout my life. But I wanted to ask the parents in the chat and up on the panel, have you seen like any of your kids' friends exhibit that type? Not necessarily what I went through, but traits that kind of give you a hint, like they're going to be a problem in the future?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
My daughter was talking about one of her friends yesterday, and it was just like, this is awful. You need to quit announcing when you want to do something with the other friend. Because she was saying, Mom, this friend's becoming a problem because if we invite her to do things threesome, if she can't do it, or if we don't want to do what she does, she gets upset. And everything has to be about where she wants to go, what she wants to do, even if it's this person's birthday. And I'm like, this is getting bad. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Because everything gravitated around making that one person happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids, I think just because life has been different, it's not like they never had friends that they play with, like in front of the house, just like the other homes has. Because when 2016 happened, it's kind of like people separated the pro-Trumpers and those non-Trumpers. So I live in a so that made even the kids in the same bus stop not play with my kids.
That's
But
ridiculous.
yeah, but my kids, they were not I was more affected more than my kids. And so now the friends that they have are the friends that they choose. Not to say that all of them are great, but Jenna, I was so proud of her when she decided to cut one of her friends out. And it was one that I was becoming friendly with the mothers, with the mother, two of them actually. But she was like, no, I don't want to be around them. She was mad at me when I was still talking to the mothers. So I'm like, what happened? And then she explained, it's not that I stopped talking to the mothers, but it just came natural because the girls are not getting together anymore. So they were not checking on me. It's not only me not calling them, they're not calling me either, you know? So my son, he's very lucky in his friendships. He never had a friend stabbing him. Like, he never came to me saying, oh, can you believe this kid did that? Even his roommate has been with him since second grade. So his roommate in college now. Oh my God, I'm dreading. I will need more emotional support Wednesday. Huh? They have been in the same class since second grade.
Oh,
So that's giving me some peace, but I'm very uneasy thinking that he's leaving. And my kids were like, I think there's always a blessing in disguise. So they've been shielded from that. But I have been like subject to it a lot. People, you know, getting ahead of me, putting me down. It's always about them. It's thanks to them that I am who I am somehow.
I don't know. I think it's tricky when I try not to mix politics and religion. I always want to look at the person, you know? And that's why I'm like, my dad always used to say, you get in trouble when you mix politics and religion. Always get to know the individual first.
But what is the trouble really? I don't think it's trouble. I think people come out and show who they are when you talk about these topics. And you know what? Someone that doesn't believe that I'm worthy of existence, I don't want to be their friends. As much as it hurts, I'd rather not be their friend.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just I'm just saying in general, right? I don't want to argue about people's beliefs. I want to get to know the core of the person first. Because sometimes people make stupid decisions based on things they don't know.
Yeah.
It's like being a sheeple.
Ignorance, I don't know. I feel like people use ignorance as if
Meh.
their real truth. They say, oh, I didn't know. Really? In this day and age, you don't know that you can't, let's say, call a black woman an angry woman because there's, you know what I mean? Like it's not
No,
only about religion.
no, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm saying it's so quick to start people arguing without having a real discussion.
They don't listen to each other.
Do what now?
They don't listen to each other.
Right, I agree. So
I agree as well.
it has to be a safe forum. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you just do it right off the cuff, it's not a safe forum. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, there's certain personality types, like a Ramona, that's not going to admit that she's ignorant.
Right.
even that scene when Ebony said that she's the most educated person at the table, the women went crazy. So, like everyone has a defense mechanism, and I feel like you can't really have that kind of resolution unless you come from an empathetic place where you want to learn and educate yourself. And unfortunately, a lot of the ladies don't.
It's being an empath that allows you to listen to others and accept a new, like new information coming in. But she's not an empath. Ramona is not. And I
Right.
don't think it's ignorance. I really think it's racism. All her um, decisions and things she says stems from her being supreme.
No, I don't disagree, but if you light a fire under somebody's ass right out of the gate, nobody's going to listen to you.
Yeah. Which I wish Ebony, I this is where I agree with Bershan. Ebony, yes, I love when she talks because I agree with her at every level. But yes, she comes preachy. And then Ramona was smart to call her out as preachy because now everybody is calling Ebony, guess what? Preachy.
Right.
Stop.
But going back to emotional vampires that turn into narcissists in your life, in your
I have
everyday
a
life.
question.
Okay, go vintage.
So I've noticed that a lot of the people that watch his show are very empathetic, and it's a community of empathetic people. And I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised if everyone has everyone has a vampire story. So do
In
you
here.
yes. Do you think if like you're naturally empathetic, that's like your personality trait, you lend yourself to sharks that gravitate towards you and then they can manipulate you and use you? Do you know what I mean?
Probably me now, not as quickly as before. I would agree that they gravitate to me, and I try to be nice and kind. I'm aware. I see it. You get what I'm saying? I
Yep.
see who they are, and I'm tolerant to a degree. But then I'm like, oh hell no.
So it takes a while to figure out those red flags,
No,
right?
I see them, and I pray that they don't go too far because I like to give people chances, but
But
then there's a limit.
isn't part of being a narcissist is that slowly they're sucking your oxygen. It's never like you meet someone, oh, he sucked the oxygen out of me.
No,
It's
some of them will
slowly.
do it immediately. No, some of them will do it immediately. There's different forms of narcissism. Some of them are charming. Some of them are clever. Some of them are direct, like Ramona. Some of them are covert. It depends on the form of supply that they need.
Supply that they get. And usually the empathetic people who are givers, that's they have a radar that detect us, people like us. This is
Right.
Yeah.
why every empath, of course, had millions of empires in their life. Because listen, if I know you have a party and you need help, I'm the first one to be there helping you without you asking me. And if you are, you might be a nice person who would appreciate and do the same to me. But then, if you're a narcissist, you're just taking for granted my help to you. And then, when it comes time that you do me wrong and I tell you I've been always there for you, you would tell me, oh, I never asked you. No, you did it. It's because they know we are givers. Like, I'm like, whenever I meet you, I'm going to trust you. Period. End of story until you show me a reason not to. And, unfortunately, like most of the time, I see people, they're not approaching you for the right reason or
Right.
the reasons that you would wish they were.
But
Yeah.
listen, also, the more you can resonate higher, the less they can break that wall down.
Yeah.
They may want to, but it's just more difficult. because you have worked on yourself and you're resonating so high that it's harder. They usually go to the people who resonate lower, or are not such a low hanging fruit, but resonate lower. So it's easier to pick the pieces or get the supply that they need and want. Think of it like this: you know the cartoons you see, and they have the evil dude with all the little minions around.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
it's kind of like that. They have the minions where they can get the supply from them, and it's depending on what type of narcissist is there, is what the minions look like. You got the high quality minions, you got the minions that are like, okay, master. I mean, it just depends.
But isn't the supply like a drug for them? For the
Yeah, of course. You have
Because- and they want
Erica.
more.
Erica has the ones that tell her she looks great, she's so smart, she was great on stage, the music's excellent. That feeds her ego till it explodes.
Oh, Erica, pat that puss.
Smart,
Little sycophants.
Yeah,
Are you
exactly.
smart or are you blissful? Which is it?
And what do you think Ramona's little supply looks like? Her supply chain.
Oh, her supply chain is huge, especially because she's in the housewife world. Everybody wants to be her friend.
You've got 60 friends.
Yeah,
50 best friends.
So what would you think those sound like? We just said Erica sound like, oh, your music's great, your makeup's hot. What do you think Ramona's sound like?
what do you mean? Like how?
How they approach her. What they say to her.
Oh, you're so hot for your age.
Yeah, which
You
is.
look amazing.
Let's give it to her.
No, you haven't aged a day.
Yeah. Or they would tell her things, oh, I'm with you on the housewife topic. They just praise her or give her freebies, or they make a potluck when it's her birthday and they get her like Gucci bag. You know what I mean?
Oh, Ramona, I know this guy.
Well, I feel like Ramona talks to herself a lot. Like she
Yeah.
rambles. So I feel like all you need to do is just agree with her. Like she'd be like, oh my gosh, this woman, this ebony woman, she's asking me so many questions. Oh my, she's just so rude. Yes, Ramona, she's very rude. I can't believe she asked you a question.
Oh, Ramona, you have to come to my place at the beach this weekend. You want to come? Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think Ramona gets a lot of freebies. She is a social climber, because even if you have money, you might not have the social status. And I think she wants that so badly. And this is why her rift with Jill Zarin started. Because let's face it, Jill Zarin was married to a man that was very much respected in the New York scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and this is where I feel like she had a problem with Luann, with Jill, and then she had a problem with Luann because Luann is a countess.
And now she has a problem with Dorinda. Like Ramona showed her true colors. There was that weird lunch, and she was supposed to sit at the dinner table with Dorinda, but she changed her number. Like she showed her colors as a social climber right there. And that kind of...
Or the day that she didn't want Sonia to come to be invited to the birthday party.
Oh, yeah, that was awful. I hated that.
Awful. That's who she is. And people around her catered her because maybe they want to be portrayed in the show. And we have two people who tried to do that, and it failed epically. Elise, like her and Ramona were like thick as thieves.
Paranormal says, I'm sorry, that there's Greek mythology, there was a god called Narcissus who was totally narcissistic. He loved himself too much, and that's where they got the name. He saw his reflection in the water and fell in love with himself, and that's where the name came from. And there's a flower called the narcissus.
I would fall in love with myself when I look at myself in the mirror.
I scare myself.
Me too.
Why do you think I put on makeup?
What do you think?
Oh my god! But ladies, I have to drop. So I just wanted to wish you all the best for the weekend and the upcoming week. Stay safe in New York with that approaching storm.
Yeah,
Henry.
it started.
Henry's
The
coming down. Yeah.
The only other thing I can think about narcissists in our own lives is that if you go out with somebody 2, 3, 4 times and you come home exhausted and feeling worse about yourself, that's somebody you really don't need in your life, because your friends are supposed to be building you up, not, ripping you down and making it always about them. That's the only other piece of advice that I go by when it comes to adult relationships. If I go out with somebody a few times and I come home feeling exhausted and worse, as opposed to going out with people, coming home and saying that was a great night and I can't wait till I see you again, that's a red flag for me.
You're giving me the chills right now. That's so true.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
But as Dana always forgets to say, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tune in on Wednesdays and Saturdays for Dear Dana, because you always forget to say that.
Thank you, JC Bear. I love you.
Love you all too, and keep the faith. We'll get through this next, I guess, spiritual shift.
Yeah,
But that's a whole other. I'm not going to do that. We're ending on a good note tonight. We're going to be ending on a good note.
Yes.
Okay. See you later. Bear hugs.
Bye.
So true. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
So, to Dear Dana's channel, subscribe. I give you a ride. There you go. You have to make it nice. Make it nice.
I wait for the merchandise where you actually have it on a shirt.
Do what now?
I wait for the day you actually have merchandise and you put it on a shirt.
I went to the site to make the merchandise. I was trying to do all colors, and it just looked black and gray. I didn't like that. And I put your vibe attracts your tribe, and I put a dragonfly on there, and it didn't look right. I wasn't happy.
Oh, wait till you're happy. I know Adam has his Halloween shirt out, and he used a new graphic designer.
Yeah, I'm not a graphic designer. I just went to one of those make your own T-shirt things online. I have to try another one of those.
Dana, before
you
wrap up, because I feel like soon your husband is going to say, hey, we need to have dinner. By the way, they don't have dinner yet. How about the people who, when there is a conflict, they charge you even more, although your feelings are valid, but they are there with you, and then they do an about face with the party you cut off, like those who stay on the fence.
Yeah, between you and the other?
Yeah. Is that a form of being a narcissist? I'm friends with everybody.
Switzerland?
No, not really Switzerland, because Switzerland will try to make both friends, because this person, it's a triangle. Let's put it a triangle. Like Dana felt someone wronged her. Just for the sake of example, okay? Alleged. Everything is alleged here.
All right, allegedly.
And there is a third person that knows these two. But this person, when he's talking with Dana, she's with Dana. Yeah, you're right. That person was mean to you. Blah, 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 blah. And then fast forward, that person that was agreeing with Dana's feelings is taking herself out and is very friendly with the other one.
Oh, that's just a gossip person.
You think gossip? You don't think?
It's mentirosa. She's just gossip.
I think people can be friends with different people as long as they're not engaging in the conflict.
Yes. And a true friend would try to bring you both together and resolve that issue. Especially
if you're adults.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be 38 and I don't know many adults.
I'm gonna be 50, and
I think you guys, and you're on a computer screen, you're probably the only adults I know.
no, I'm on my phone.
You don't look 38, Vintage.
You look 25.
I know.
Damn it.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
You look young.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see you back. I was extremely concerned, and I was upset that you did not reply to my email.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will reply to it now.
We need to talk.
Is she upset at me? Did I do something? She disappeared. I'm worried about her.
Well, on Saturday and Sunday, my friend Melissa came over and we had a horror movie night. So Saturday I missed you, and then on Wednesday, like I started working at a Thai restaurant, and I forgot how long the hours are at a restaurant, so I just passed out when I got home.
You don't owe me any excuses. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
I'm alive and I'm safe. But thank you. Your concern is really. I feel part of the community.
You need to mark yourself safe. You didn't got pregnant by Nick Cannon.
No. All I wanted to know was
that'll be the day.
You were okay. That's it. That you were okay.
Yes.
Like, what happened?
So I'm happy that you're okay. I'm happy that you're back. That's it. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Thank you, ladies.
And are you enjoying the Thai restaurant?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to learn. There's a specific soup I want to learn how to make. So it's still guarded in secrecy, but
it's making me hungry for Thai food, actually.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry too, and the rain just started. It's crazy outside.
Yes, I feel like I need soup.
But listen, I would like to hear some of your stories in the comments. If you've had to deal with spiritual vampires or narcissistic relationships, or if you're currently dealing with that and you need some help. Also,
has a story. Look, she wrote, I just want to give a little narcissist history, LOL.
Who said that? Oh, that was Vintage about the story of narcissism. And we appreciate it. I mean, not Vintage, Paranormal. And we appreciate that back history. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And if anyone is suffering from pain or distress or anything, and you would like for us to try to do some healing on you, I would be more than happy to try. Yes, I would. And also, if we can get the lovely vocalist to come next Saturday, that would be awesome. And please, let's give her all the love and support because the world needs to hear her. You will be amazed.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
I mean,
check it out.
Boobies? What is it? Tomato?
Yes, my lemon boys. Sorry, I'm really proud of them.
Oh, they look so good. My mom said that this is about the time of year that you can plant sunflowers in the fall.
Yeah, we have sunflowers.
She said you can plant them now.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they're going to last for the rest of the autumn season because they can actually take the temperature. That's when you get the really big stalks.
Okay, so I'm going to plant them. What else can we plant now this time of year?
I need help with my orchids.
Orchids, that's a finicky plant. But a lot of nightshade vegetables, like if you don't have kale or lettuce, now is a good time to plant those kind of things. Rosemary, lavender, thyme.
I never get a flower. They're nice. The leaves, these are new leaves. See? But I never get a flower. What do I do?
You might have to give them just a little bit of food.
What is the food?
A little bit of food, and also if you save rainwater is great for any plant. So if you just take like any kind of Tupperware and just try to collect any kind of rainwater and give it to them.
So we'll get Henry water for them.
Also, I think they like a lot of humidity.
Yes.
So
Look, these are all new leaves. You
And
know?
they like just a little bit of subtle. Like mine are in a window that get a little bit of sunlight, but not too much.
That's where they are. That's where they are. But I think I have to put them in a bigger container, maybe.
I
Yeah.
think so. You might have to transplant them.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm gonna kill them.
But anyway, I wanted to say hello to RHONY. Thank you so much for being here, and Anita. Also, I'm loving the new people in my community. Makes me so very happy.
We have 2 Adams now.
Oh,
Ooh.
is it 2 Adams? I didn't know if I was getting tricked. Well, hello to the new Adam. I didn't know if that was the old Adam. People change their names sometimes.
Exactly.
Well, hello to the new Adam, too. And yes, please like, subscribe, share. And if you ever have a topic that you would like for us to address, please do not hesitate to send me a DM at Dear Dana3 on Instagram or drop it in the comments. And yes, please, if you have encountered a spiritual vampire or want to make a comment or ask a question about a narcissist in your life, drop it in the comments or send me a DM. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. Please go do your grounding outside. Get barefoot on the ground. It does make a huge difference for your life. You can look it up. It's science. Your vibe does attract your tribe.
So don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, I want to grow the community at least to 1,000. Because the thing is, if you don't get to 1,000 within a year, YouTube makes you start all over again. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
didn't
I
know.
didn't know that.
I will have to pay to change my name from not paid by anyone, and then I'm still not paid by anyone.
You have to get 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribes, or you have to. I mean, They don't erase me off YouTube, but they make me start the process all over again.
Oh, okay.
It's not about me being greedy. I'm trying to get to 1,000, and then they give us a community page where we can throw ideas back and forth. We don't have one right now.
Yeah, you will have. That's it.
You notice how the other ones have community pages where you can go and ask questions and write things?
Yep.
We don't right now because we tiny, but we growing.
Yeah,
Yes.
we growing.
We growing.
We
Yes.
growing.
We are. Oh, and by the way, well, you can't see it because you're not on Instagram, Vintage, but I have pictures of I put pictures of plants and stuff on mine often, and every one of the plants that you would see on mine are everything I grow.
Ooh.
So do I.
They're either in my house or in my yard.
Come on, make an Instagram.
Do what now?
She needs to make an Instagram. So
I know. Like, see, these are.
I'm too paranoid for Instagrams.
See that those are mine.
See, I'm so jealous. When I saw that, I'm like,
That is a fancy plant.
And that's my other one.
those are orchids.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Jealous, right? That's it. I'm done.
See that one?
Oh my God, I'm a failure.
That's Magnolia. That's my baby puppy.
No.
You know, the little one I had in my arms?
Yeah.
That's her now.
She's gotten big.
Yes, she has.
The last time I saw her was like 3 weeks ago. She's gotten big.
She's huge. But anyway, I'll
They
put
grow
mine.
so fast.
I know. I have to do my Wonder Woman pose for her to quit nipping at me now.
Yeah, she's probably toothing, so that's gonna be a while. Just double socks.
And but she'll go to attention and then hunker down at my legs and be all nice when I do my Wonder Woman pose.
It's all about the pose.
And she's afraid of my puppets, so we're cool now.
Yeah.
That is
All right.
fun.
All right, ladies, I'm going to
Okay.
say goodnight.
I'm so happy you're here. I love all of you so, so much.
We love you back.
Oh, Anita says, Dana, I love that you stand by your own opinions. I try, yes.
Me too.
Bye, guys.
All right, good night.
Right. It's wonderful that you're here. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I will see you on Saturday. Please like, subscribe, share. Throw me some comments down below. Tell me what you want to hear. And I shall see you on Saturday. Everybody, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Everybody have a beautiful week. And take care.
Good night, everybody.
I'll see you next time. And that is it. Bye-bye, everybody. I really do love and care about you. Take it easy.